For this podcast, we're proud to partner with Zurich Life and Investments. As one of the last true independent life insurers, Zurich has always believed in the value of advice and the professionals who provide it. They continue to invest in programs such as this one that are designed to strengthen the health and reputation of the advice profession. They're excited about the chance to partner with us, XY Advisor, to help shape the future direction of advice and help make it more accessible to more Australians. To find out more or to check out some of the latest advisor support tools, visit the website or ask your Zurich BDM.
You go. There you go.
What do I say? Do I say, hi, I'm Stella from Absolute Wealth Advisors?
Perfect.
You nailed it.
Everyone meet Stella from Absolute Wealth Advisors. Champion advisor. Works quite closely with Ben.
Yeah. Desk buddies until very recently for the last 3 years. Stella holds the record for the loudest keyboard tapping on the planet, actually. So it's like when Stella's working, you know she's working. It's like open the door to the office.
Not mucking around, eh?
No, that's so everyone knows I'm working.
And I'm pretty sure she buys the extra loud keyboards. You know, the ones with the really big keys. It's not like those soft feel. Like
the ones where you're sort of like looking around as you do it, but obviously that Stella's not really doesn't care. Like,
no, I'm just there concentrating.
Did you guys know that I'm working?
Oh yeah, you can't miss it.
No.
So what's Ben's desk like, Stella? How's he roll?
Oh, he's never really there, so it's pretty clean. You're always working from home.
Yeah, I've been working in the office a little bit more now. We just moved for WeWork, new WeWork, York Street. We were talking about this before.
How are those free beers going, Ben?
Free beers are pretty good. Yeah, I had to cut one of my clients off in their strategy meeting the other week.
Really?
Yep, too many beers. I was like, well, we're making some important decisions right now. Maybe 4 beers is enough beers.
He was nervous.
I don't think he was nervous. I think he just liked to drink. But,
just a thirsty fella.
That was good. It's people enjoy my presentations more when they're drunk. So
is that so? Those the workshops you do, you get.
Oh well, that's the This was a strategy meeting, but it's effectively a presentation.
So the alcohol isn't the strategy.
No, surprisingly, no. Making money is the strategy. Alcohol is maybe a catalyst. Do we call it a catalyst?
Was it a Friday?
Support.
No, it was a Wednesday. My strategy
afternoon or morning?
Afternoon. Yeah.
Is this
I don't think they enforce it, but you're not supposed to drink the beers until the afternoon.
Aren't you?
That's
what they say. I
don't
know. I had a beer at 4 o'clock in the office the other day, and someone was like, "Oh, you're at it early." I was like, "What do you mean?"
Self-employed. This is what you do.
Anyway.
Yeah, they should make him come on at like 5 o'clock maybe.
I think they were on all day.
Yeah, that's a bad thing.
But anyway, so...
How long have you been self-employed?
Self-employed?
Aren't you you run the...
Yeah, I think it's been about...
Like you've taken over from Paul, haven't you? Like you run the show now, don't you?
No,
she's been running the show for
I've been
years.
running it since the first day.
Pretty much, yeah, okay. So since you joined, you've been...
the Wealth Network. Paul... What does he do again?
He's marketing manager.
marketing manager / motivational guru in the office, and it's just Norbs and a noisy keyboard, just carrying absolute wealth.
So Stella, you've sort of been working through a couple of additions to your family the last few years. Is that?
Yes. So when I started Absolute Wealth Advisors, I had 2 kids, and then I was probably there for about 8 years. And I've just had another one. So that's been interesting and a very good experience actually working for them. So
two well supported?
Yes, very well supported. So I
suppose when they're dependent on you, you sort of just got to do whatever you ask them for. Yeah.
Definitely.
And was it that because the first 2 are gingers and then
I've actually got a multicoloured family. Like one is in a if you say it correctly, but one is red. One is like brunette, and the new one's blonde.
Wow!
There you go. Nailed it.
Selection.
Can't stop.
So you're not going to get confused then.
No.
And how the gap in the ages? How's it been with the 2 older ones with the younger?
It's been a big surprise again, coming back to having a baby. So it's been hard because
how long have we been? 10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
So that's been
Shit
hard.
knobs.
Yeah.
And so you've been at Absolute for 8 years, but you pushed pretty hard when you started there and ended up becoming a shareholder in the business. When did that happen?
That was probably about I can't even remember, like probably 3 to 5 years after I started with them.
Right.
So yeah,
And
I
how
pushed
did
pretty
you-
hard at the start.
Yeah, Dean told me. How did you approach that whole like the conversation with the guys? How's it? Because I know that a lot of people, they start as employees in businesses, and this clearly Absolute is very like as an established business, been going for a few years. By that time, they had a big or a decent sized client base already. So how did you go about that?
So it was actually them that approached me, and it was an honor to be asked, and I thought about it seriously, and it was something that I thought, why not do it? They're a great team. I think it always comes back to who you work with and want to be with for a long time. So yeah, I could see they run a great business, and so
Went for it.
Went for it.
Right. 5 keyboards later, here you are.
It's actually 10.
I'm not surprised. And so how do you approach work? Because you work pretty flexibly. You live like miles and miles away.
Yes. It's only in Campbelltown. We don't live in a tent.
No, I didn't say 10. It's just a long way away.
Yeah, it's a long way.
But you're doing that. You're juggling like your little one and a couple of young kids as well. How do you approach that?
That's been the best thing about working with Absolute Wealth. We have a lot of like flexibility, and also we can take our computers and then go wherever you want. Like yesterday, our office was flooded, for example, and we could just pick up and leave. So that was good. But yeah, that's what helps a lot, because I do 3 days at work at home and then 2 days in the office, which is just jam packed full of client meetings. So.
And how do you balance your workload around like family commitments and stuff like that? Like when you're working from home, are you doing stuff with the fam bam, or like you bouncing the kid and you got the
on the phone at the same time?
Sometimes I am, and it's really bad because I only save those kind of calls for service providers, because if a kid screams, I'm like, oh, sorry, that was just. But yeah, I usually make time for client stuff, and then like when they're at daycare, I'll do a lot more intense, client work. So yeah, It is balancing, but I feel like I'm always on. I have to set boundaries, because if I wake up, I can be on and then keep working till like 9 o'clock at night when you finish.
Yeah.
And I'll go to bed.
Yeah.
So you kind of need to set rules that I just stop at a certain time.
And do you work around, like you do work in like blocks, or do you just go, that's my work day and then I'm family Stella? Yeah,
like I'll start in the morning, do a bit till lunchtime, have a bit of a break, a breather. I'll go to the gym as well, maybe in that time.
Oh, yeah.
And then in the afternoon, I start up again till crazy time starts around 5. And then sometimes I still do a little bit more. But yeah, you have to set boundaries, because otherwise you just work. And I find that does happen talking to other people.
Oh, yeah. This is Adrian's life. He just works.
You have to just stop.
Oh, I do sometimes.
There's a set time, 5 o'clock.
I could definitely stop more. But if you enjoy the flexibility when you can, then you got to roll with it when it's running and just do the work at the time.
I tried to make a rule that I wouldn't work after 7 p.m, but I rarely stick to the rule, because it's like sometimes you just need to get stuff done.
Yeah, if you can get stuff done, you just got to get it done.
And then you just pick up your phone at 8 o'clock. Oh, there's an email there.
Geez, I got to say, buddy, Paul and Dean, they've done all right having an employee like that has trouble putting down the laptop. That's a good thing to have.
Well, I think that's why you become a business partner, right?
Yeah.
And so what are you working on at the moment in the business?
So I've got my own clients. So just pretty much same as what I was before. I just came back when I was on maternity leave. I did a lot of work leading up to that. So then I've just sort of taking back on the client work, starting up the year again, because I only really took 6 months off. So and that was like towards the end of the year where it's not as busy. So came back in, did the end of financial year.
So how did you manage that with the clients? Because I suppose like people have breaks from like being an advisor on and off every now and again. And like how did you work around it?
So everyone knew that I was going on leave anyway, but I found that I did a lot of work to prepare to go, like doing a lot of handover stuff. So things were still ticking while I was gone. Mm-hmm. A lot of the meetings I'd had earlier in the year, so it was, all their reviews and things were done. And then when I came back in, just got up and running. I think being there for the, April, May, June is important because that's when we do a lot of the end of financial planning year stuff. So being back for that was the main thing. I don't know how it would have gone otherwise, but yeah, that was the main thing.
Good timing.
Good timing, yeah. Plan the baby well.
Yeah, lucky for Paul.
And do you so you're just doing client management mainly, as opposed to, do you do like project stuff in the business as well?
We've got a few projects going on. So we all have our own little things that we're working on. I'm starting to do more of being a bit more training and mentoring of the other staff in the office.
God help us.
I know. So
type harder.
Yeah. You're not going hard enough.
You're not working long enough. You're not working hard enough. You're not typing loud enough.
So the way I'm try and approach it. So I do work when I'm mainly catch up with them when I'm in the office the 2 days a week, but just starting to do things online and through like a video sharing screen thing. And then also
where did you get that idea from, Knobs?
From Dean. and then also recording that so we can keep it on file so people learn around and they can just watch the video because we're already trained someone, and then
That's
cool.
the best way to do it. That's what I do. I'm pretty sure Dean stole that idea from me.
Good old looms. A few looms, Stella. Get a bit of loom happening, is it?
What do you use? What tech?
Yeah.
No, Loom. Yeah, Dean tried to use that. No, we use Teams a lot. That's what, Microsoft Teams.
I've heard of Microsoft, yeah.
Yeah, so we run a lot of meetings on that. So sometimes we'll have like 5 of us all from different areas on Teams together and just doing a meeting.
Is that a video thing?
Yeah, it's Microsoft. It's like the 365 version of these software.
I've heard of Microsoft.
It's actually pretty good. Yeah, you would have heard of Microsoft.
No, I hate Microsoft.
Yeah, so you wouldn't even know what it is.
I'm not a fan.
More of a Google man, are you?
Yeah, well, I think Microsoft dropped the ball for so long.
Yeah.
And then
they're coming back, but
I think they've been pushing pretty hard. I know Dean's stoked with them and all the SharePoint and the...
Yeah, that's really good. Especially working from home, you just literally open up a web browser and the client stuff's all there in a filing. It takes a little bit of time to get used to because you know how you're used to everything being in a desktop with the files there, the folders. But that's the only thing that's a bit different.
And so is your project mainly to do the training stuff, or are you working on other projects in the business outside of the client stuff?
Not really, not at this stage.
Yeah. Smashing it. Got a big enough team, I suppose.
Yeah, and I've, got enough on to keep me busy with the clients.
Keep the baby bouncing. Yeah. And so your client base is all mainly older retirees, a lot of business owners and that sort of stuff. Do you, in terms of your book and you're looking after a certain subset of clients in the business, is it, how did you go about choosing them? Is it just the people that you connected with initially, or is it a certain sort of type of clients in you?
Yeah, so I kind of just get a mixed lot of them. I've got a lot of PAYG people, sorry. And then I've got just a few different retirees as well. So yeah, it's a kind of mix, all different ages. So I'm not just the younger people. I've got older clients as well. So it's just, who we kind of get new clients into the business, and if we work together on them, then they just get handed off. So,
and how do you because I actually haven't asked this question for a while, but do you have different packages for clients, or how do you work with your clients ongoing once they're, because it's mainly management of existing clients, right?
Yeah. So when we have new clients, we have a wealth mentor package, which is you get a full service of everything, and you pay an upfront fee and then ongoing fee for that. So that's everything we review. All the planners would know the standard things like the cash flow, the debt, do
you have certain steps that you go through, or do you scope it and stage it out?
We do that with clients. They get once we sign them up, they get a big action plan, and we kind of work to that, which is kind of in the same structure of, your cash flow, your debt, and then we follow that. And, some clients won't have it all, but some have, most of them will have it all. And then we just work through that action plan and hopefully get it done within a year, but usually that doesn't happen, as you know, with clients. Yeah, so we try to do that, and, and then hopefully by the end of that year they have a full plan they can walk away with and have all their goals kind of ticking over. related to that plan.
And then that moves into ongoing.
Yeah, ongoing. And you find that when you do ongoing, there's always things that change. It's like you're constantly working on that thing. It's like, wow, how, things just change so much in people's lives that it's all the time just reviewing it. And
so do you find, are you able to stick to a regular meeting yearly, or do you find it just stuff pops up and you can't really stick to the annual sort of setup? Or?
We try to stick to the annual, like some clients annually, semi-annually, but, if things pop up, we will meet them for that. But yeah, we try to stick to a certain date schedule, but of course that never, people on holidays and things
having
like that.
babies and that sort of thing. That's it.
Babies. So yeah.
But you map out like your whole year of
We
all
do.
of the reviews.
Yes,
So
we
that's
have a big
pretty
map,
epic.
and we try to make sure that the clients fit in to that. Like every client gets a full SOA every year. So we make, and then if they're like twice a year, then they get a half yearly review. So we're trying to map out not to do so many SOAs in one month, balancing it all out. And then ones with tax
So load
planning.
balancing, you might say.
Yeah. And then, the tax planning gets the ones that need a lot of work will get done April, May. No reviews in January and December. So
No reviews in
December,
is it
January.
either June or July, I think.
Yeah,
Dean
June
was
we
saying?
kind of out as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're kind of
It's pretty good.
we're
Do all the
kinda
tax
getting
planning
all
in
the-
May.
yes.
That's the
Have
Europe
June off.
Europe time, is that off to summer in Europe? Is that why the break is?
I think it's so that they can do the work off the back
Yeah.
of the reviews. So I like
okay.
that. No pressure.
Yeah, because we find it in June we're always running around doing last minute things from like just getting stuff done for,
Well, the time critical
clients,
stuff really
yeah.
pops up.
and always a week before people still running around doing stuff. So you kind of have to be
Hopeless.
ready for
Yeah.
that, no matter how much you
I got
plan.
these clients every year, and they generally give me like 2 to 4 days, and then they're calling, "Oh, should I make contributions to my super before the end of the year?" And it's like every year, it's like, shit, we got to like try and get it into the fund, and anyway,
Yeah, we had one walking
good
like $15,000 in cash between banks because he couldn't transfer
Yeah.
it in time.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
right. It's good effort.
So that was pretty funny. But yeah, that's what we kind of do a calendar around that, map it out every year, which I think is good.
I
It
like
works
that.
well.
I like
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
I just follow through with my clients sort of where they land, but I like the idea of that.
Yeah, because you kind of can move them around a month or two, like depending
Yeah.
when you get them on. But a lot of them, do you do a yearly thing, like where you bed down someone over a year?
I do. No, I do the initial planning and then the setup, and then it's just like you're on an ongoing thing. We do an annual review, but I do a monthly progress call with them. So we sort of stick. It's actually 5 weekly, and we stick to that cycle. And then by the 9th one, then I just like, well, it's time for your review. The next call we just do as that's like the fact find meeting again, like re-fact find, which we already know. So ask them for some stuff. Do the fact find meeting, figure out what they want to do in the next 12 months, and then catch up, do the strategy, present the SOA. We have an SOA, not much we don't do much on the product side, so it doesn't change much from that side, but it's more just like go through the modeling, figure out what they want to actually do. New opt-in every year. Avoid the opt-in.
Actually, Stella, how much do you go on the modelling? How do you guys use modelling? Is it like
Yeah, so you use Advisor Logic, the cash flow tool in that, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, so we use that too, it's really good. Like we find
Are you on
that,
2.0?
yes.
I'm too scared to change to 2.0.
Oh, I think it's a lot better and easier to use.
I've heard that.
Yeah, just do it.
I just haven't clicked on the link.
It's pretty much exactly the same,
Right.
Really.
Oh, okay.
Just I think a
I don't
little
like.
bit easier.
I don't like change.
Yeah, it is annoying how they can't just export like everything to the new one. You have to kind of set it all up again.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, but it is really good.
And how do you use the modelling? Do you use it in there with the clients?
Yes,
or do
so
you...
a lot of meetings we do, like, because a lot of times you don't get everything before the meeting. So you don't know if a client's had when you do their review, have they had a pay increase or what their debt is. Like, even though you email them or talk to them before, a lot of them won't send it to like the day before. So it's a good fact-finding tool too, because you have to go through everything and say, what's your income, what's your expenses, what's your debt, all these things that the client kind of manages themselves. So we use it in the meeting and we can run like live scenarios. Dean actually just did yesterday. He made a video of him talking and modeling and then is emailing that to the client.
Yeah, nice.
So that's pretty fancy.
I think that works well. I've got this client that I've been working with. She's in Paris, and she refuses to do meetings in the morning. She said she's not a morning person. So we end up doing, and I don't like doing meetings in the morning because I like to go to the gym and, if I can be bothered to get up, and then I like to have the mornings to do my things, like to catch up. Like that's my quiet time before people start. But anyway, so the earliest I'll do meetings with her is 7 o'clock, which I think is like 7 a.m. That's pretty early, like I'm not doing it before then. That's her 11 p.m. though, right? So clearly she's a night person, but I say to her, like surely it would be better to just get up and do it because 7 o'clock in the morning over there, or 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock even is like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I don't understand how anyone can't just go to work a little bit later or put some time. Anyway,
maybe your sultry tones help her get to sleep then.
Maybe, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, financial planning at midnight. I'm like, I do an hour and a half strategy meeting with her, and it's like, man, I don't know how anyone could take this stuff in at that time. Like, anyway,
I smashed a bit of coffee over in France, so maybe that keeps it going.
But so I did the same thing where I had the model, and like I did the meeting and spoke through it with her anyway. But I good one, Patty. But I also just recorded the screen and spoke through it. I find that works really well. I've been using that a fair bit with clients actually.
Loom, yeah.
Loom,
yeah, that's what he used. Yeah,
Loom, or I use Camtasia as well. So if it's something that needs to be more like robust, Camtasia, put it on YouTube, send them the link. Loom ones are easy. You can password protect it if there's anything sensitive in there. It's super easy. The files are quite small as well, and then just send it straight over. You can give them some background or record, like even in a meeting with the client, and then record the screen and then, or Zoom recordings, like if you're doing a video call, talking through the strategy stuff, whiteboard on the iPad, and then it's like in the folder. I think that stuff's
it's the videos.
Good compliance as well, because you're going, the conversation is there, right?
So how do you guys save those recordings? You're saying you store yours, and
I normally just put them in the file. I share it with the client. I share it back with the client.
Yep.
The actual from Zoom. I compress it. I use a Handbrake thing, which is a Mac app. I think I don't know, maybe it goes for other things, but it makes videos really small.
Okay.
And then I just put it in their folder.
What about you, Stella?
Yeah, we send links. So we on SharePoint, you can actually link files to clients, and then they just click on it and it comes up. So they've got their stuff there, like a video. But yeah, we send the links from like that software as well with a password on it.
Yeah. And are you doing with your reviews and stuff, are you doing them mainly in person or?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the office. So I'll book out the days that I'm there and do the meetings face to face. And then, yeah, we do have clients that do online, but you find it's mainly the remote ones that are more open to that. We do. I think it's a great thing though to do more and try and push.
Campbelltown's pretty remote though.
What's the flight time?
An hour 20.
An hour 20 on the bullet train from MacArthur. Oh,
yeah. Have you? Oh,
you go.
I was just going to say, like with that, do you find that you've been able to train like some clients? Because you're saying they're a bit older demographic. Have you been able to train them into like embracing some of this?
I think a lot of people know what Skype is. Like even the older ones, we've got actually clients in Tasmania. They're on the older generation, and they all know what Skype is. I find Skype's better for them. But if you want to try something new and fancy, I think it's easier to do with the younger ones.
I got a few. Well, obviously, I work mainly with young people, but I've got a few older ones that I got. My auntie's a mortgage broker. She refers me some clients, and a few that are like 50s and early 60s and stuff. And it's very. I notice it's such a difference with working with them. It's like normally I'll do like a Dropbox and share it with the clients, and then just drop your things in there. And like these, I love these clients. They're all super lovely, but it's like there's weird stuff showing up in like they're sharing folders with me, and like they're going into the wrong places, and I have to email everything and stuff. Yeah, it's like that's quite a difference with the.
Yeah, I think you have to kind of target like what you're doing to the client as well. Like you never know what they're like anyway, even younger ones, technology wise.
Yeah.
It's hard. You find that you have to do different things for different clients to suit them.
My
it's-
guy's in IT, and I've got a couple of clients like cybersecurity and stuff, and they just
Yes.
struggle so hard with technology, and it's unbelievable to me. I'm going, you're the technology person.
Probably because they
like,
can't get into their computer. I know
Yeah,
now we've got all
this
these
guy.
Super security.
authenticated things, and
Oh,
Thank
two-factor.
yeah, thank God for the Dutch intern that set me up
Yeah,
on all that stuff because I had no idea.
yeah. It's important
Dutch
though, that
intern.
stuff. The Dutch Santa.
Yeah, stand up.
Important though, the security, I suppose.
I think
Oh,
everything
absolutely.
now is like that authenticator thing.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's good though.
Yeah.
I think
It is good.
It's good for
information.
your liability because the amount of cyber breach, like the rules that have come in February, that shit's serious.
Yeah,
It's not very cool, like having to disclose stuff and
some fun conversations with the lawyers trying to work through all the privacy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
important
good.
though.
It's good to tell clients as well that we have this authenticator thing because they do ask. Like we have a lot of them that will ask things. Like
Yeah.
you set up a cash account for them, and they're like, "Oh, how do you get money in and out? You have to tell them all these things, and how do you transfer? We don't have any access whatsoever." So they do ask. They're starting to ask more and more these questions, even with Macquarie's making these automatic payments that advisors can set up and send a text to a client.
mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
if you don't tell the client that they're getting a text and things, they can get, oh, what's this? And
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Well, the
those are more
expectation.
aware.
we use AMP for.
Do they
Awesome.
have that fancy technology yet?
You can set it up so that they do get text messages, but they've got limited advisor authority where you can actually just set up the payments within the ecosystem of accounts that they nominate. So, they're, from my knowledge, they're the only ones out there. That
Well,
do
there's
it.
actually
that's-
some of the platforms, the way they're running their cash management accounts for the ones outside of super are enabling direct debit connections. So like a bit like I think what you're talking about with Macquarie potentially where, you actually have the platform as the cash manager and you can direct any other accounts and it's only advisor limited access. So, because that's the whole thing about why you use AMP, isn't it? You don't want to have like
I don't
those
wanna have
cash management
unlimited
trusts where you can
authority.
just send it anywhere.
No way.
No,
too
you
much
don't
risk.
want
Too much
to,
risk,
no.
and it's also I think some clients would push back on that
Yes.
because like
For
they
sure.
surely they want to know that I can't just send
Yeah.
their money anywhere.
Yeah, I've had that. Yeah, the conversations I've had around it. Yeah, I think that is they're comfortable with that. They're like, well, we choose the bank accounts that are linked, and you can.
And that's it. That's only the way where it can go. That's it. There's nowhere else.
Yeah,
Not in
Yeah.
your holiday fund account in
Yeah.
the Cayman Islands.
the lifestyle account, Ben Nash, yeah, for sure.
it's like when Clayton used to have his buckets video. He talked about the 5 buckets, but he never talked about that 6 bucket,
Yeah.
which was his fees. Funny.
And how many clients are you looking after, Nobs?
No, God, I don't even know. Oh, I think about 30 at least.
Okay,
Yeah, plus the product only ones that come through
right.
that
What
we
do-
have.
What do you do the rest of the time?
I don't know. Try and sleep. No, I don't even get any sleep because of the baby. But yeah,
30 clients,
yeah, I think I've got about 30.
right?
Yeah,
Bloody hell.
That's not
Must
bad.
be well-paying clients. It's a premium
Yeah.
service
Suppose
still.
they do.
maybe
charge-
20 and 30.
they
I haven't
do
even
charge
looked
that.
because I just got allocated a whole nother lot of them. So
Uh-huh.
yes,
Right. And what about, so do you manage all of the product only guys in the business? as
yeah.
well?
So if they have any queries or they come for some more advice, like we, every now and then they'll come and they say, "Can you review this for us?" or "We want to make a contribution." So I'll handle those ones.
And how do you, what's the ongoing, what does the ongoing service for those guys look like when they don't have specific questions and stuff?
We do ask, like a lot of them will, it depends what we actually get from them. So some of them will get reviewed anyway. Some of them are product only, but they actually get a lot of service. But, the other ones, I'll get emails. We do review them once a year and things like that. But they always know we're there for them if they need. A lot of them we still, they would have been the ongoing clients, but then their ongoing fee would have stopped.
Yeah.
Like their monthly fee, and then we just keep servicing them when they need us.
How do you find it with matching up the fees to the amount of time and effort that you guys put in? Have you got a rhythm in how to nail it, or is it always just you guys have been doing this for a while? And even do you find it that you've been able to nail it, or do you find there's still just that swings and roundabout effect that has to go on because you can't pick what's going to happen?
We have got spreadsheets that actually have times and what we spend on each area.
Mhm.
So we can, like, say if a client, we have it on like a new client and we say, oh, this is the full package fee. If they say, no, we don't want help with this area, we can take that out and then reduce the fee.
Mhm.
So we do. And then like some that we're not sure about, because, you don't know what you're going to get really. We have set categories, but there's some that don't fit in there. So we will have a spreadsheet to work out what the time
And will you
and
have,
cost
so if
will
you're
be.
going through the year and you have like things start to rack up in terms of time, do you have that conversation and do you change the fee, or is that conversation at the end of the year?
Usually that doesn't happen. We're usually pretty good at
Okay.
upfront estimation of fees. But yes, we would have that conversation. And if things change with them and, more fun under management and things like that, then yes, we would increase it.
Okay. So, and you've set that expectations from the start, that if you
Yes,
go
yes,
out of
it's
this
all-
scope.
Yeah, and it's all in there what, we do for X, and then, if they have within reason, so say, they need help with their mother's estate or something, yes, we might charge a bit extra for that. But sometimes you kind of don't, depending on what else they or how detailed it is and things like that.
And is that how is that how your role started in Absolute? Did you has it changed over time? I suppose the things that you're doing with clients and the sort of work.
Yeah, well, I started in client. If you wanted to know, I started in client service and then worked your way up to Yeah, but we've changed with the times. I think from the beginning, though, it's always been very, do the right thing by the client up front, take them through the whole
How's that
process.
changed?
That hasn't changed. That's still going.
That's not the right thing.
That's never going to change. That's our whole principle of values of our business. So do the right thing by the client. And also the principle of doing...
I'm glad that you made that sure.
Thanks for clarifying, Elves.
Oh, you didn't let me finish what I was going to say. To say
That was
that.
too good not to interrupt, sorry.
And then, the principle of it's the whole strategic package of advice that you give to help them get their goals. So we've got a process where you sign them up and you do a process where you say, where are you now? Where do you want to be in 3 years and where you want to be in 10 years? And we kind of then structure out, well, how does each of the financial planning areas fit in to get your goals? And then at the end, we work on a plan on that. So that's always been the same since the start, really.
And
I don't think the business has really changed except...
Yeah.
How does it look? How do you communicate that to clients?
So they get that we do it a lot of workshopping on the whiteboard in the initial meeting.
Mhm.
So they get that.
It's the four
It's a 10.
L's or something? Is Dino still rocking that one? The live, love, learn legacy or something?
Yes, there's
That's a good one.
those. So we do pull out a few things every now and then.
So what's it like?
Are you saying that was a bit more of a temporary?
No. I think he rolled that definitely for years. I don't know
Yeah.
what he's doing now, but it's like what are your
Oh,
10-year
yes.
goals? Where do you want to live? Who do you want to love? Like your
Yeah.
kids, look after them and that sort of stuff. What do you want to learn? And then what's your legacy?
Yes, legacy.
Yeah.
That's it. Because a lot of clients, you ask them to think about 10 years, and a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know. Some people do have very defined goals, but some of them don't. So that draws that out when you do the live, love, learn legacy, because you ask them, because a lot of them will have a different idea where they want to live in 10 years, but they don't think about it.
Yeah.
Leaving things to people.
What's the
learn-
love? Sorry, what's the love? What's the love one?
I think it's maybe leaving, I don't know.
Because that's like legacy as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm
maybe.
confused now.
Yeah, maybe it is.
I have to get Dino back on. And
have you got any stories from when you've had these discussions and things have turned out really conflicting with the couples?
Yes, well, some people will want it all. And we do get a lot of couples that are very not on the same page. And that does bring it out, because you can kind of say, well, you want this, you want that, and how do you find a happy medium? So, for example, we have one client that they hate debt, but their partner really loves their holiday home. If it was up to them, they'd sell it in instant to repay their debt. So it's trying to make it work so they can have both things if they can.
And did you find a happy medium?
Yes, we're slowly repaying the debt down.
And keeping the holiday home.
Keeping the holiday home, because that's all she wants, is to keep the holiday home.
Have you had any breakups as a result of the conflict being too much?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I was fishing.
I had
No.
some clients are separated.
Yeah, how did that go?
Well, I got 2 clients. now.
So do you keep both of them? Do you find that it's
Yeah, I
hard?
did.
Do they
So you
ask
did keep
you?
both of them?
Yeah, I'm interviewing you now.
I said I actually got Paul Barrett in your business. I asked him for some advice and said, like, what do I do? And I basically just said I'd been working with them for like almost 2 years, I think, by that point, and they said they were splitting up, and I said, look, I can help with the things, and they both needed help still. And then I said, obviously, I said I spoke to them together, and I said I won't, we'll do this initial piece of work together and figure out what to do, because I was sort of helping them with. They split up. They had some cash and some investment. They did that. I didn't like mediate the discussion and stuff. Yeah. But just in terms of actually, we were with AMP with the bank account, set up new structures for them. They moved the money over. It was fairly amicable. Set up just reset the strategy for them individually, and now we just keep working with them. And then obviously don't disclose any further information about the other party. But it's funny because I do these monthly calls, and they still end up on the same day. So I normally end up speaking to each of I'll speak to one in the morning and then one in the afternoon, which is I just think it's funny how that happens. And even they change around and stuff, but then they end up on the same day. It's really quite strange. So
I think it definitely makes a difference when the amicableness for you to be able to do that. Because I had a couple where I had good relations. They were both clients, and then the split happens. But I was maintaining conversations with both of them and sort of just working them through things. I was just asking me questions in general about stuff. But because it got so poisonous between them that I ended up with neither of them, because they were both sort of they're just...
You know too much about them before or something like that?
Yeah, it was weird. They lost the plot a bit because it was just a nasty breakup. So...
Yeah. It's sort of hard, I think. That these guys did pretty well. They didn't really have heaps of assets though. They had some savings, and then they had an investment account which had a bit, and they shut it down. But yeah, it's I think I've got another client that's going through a separation at the moment, and that's just an ongoing saga. One that just finished, and that dragged on for ages. That was even amicable, but it split, and then I got another new client, and they're just about to separate, which is a weird thing. And we're doing some financial advice, modeling for them to show them so that they can figure out how they want to split it up.
Yeah, wow. There's definitely something in that, because I know My Prosperity teamed up with, I can't remember what they're called, an app, it's a startup that essentially works with breakups. But it was really interesting that it's actually helped support that transition. And so I think it's a bit sort of that mediation space, because I remember talking to, I was in this business networking group, and there was a relationship expert where there's a whole market around, because the courts are so strained, the management of it through that period.
Well, they want you to go to mediation first now and try that out to see if that works, and if
to get
that
back
doesn't,
together.
No, to separate yourselves.
Oh yeah,
try and work it out with someone like a third party that's been trained. I've got a client that's a mediator as well, and he helps with that. And he, sits in there and has to give, you don't tell them what to do, but you have to guide them to make their own decision what is right without trying to go to court.
Yeah. Well, that's Catherine Gross, who, we've had on here before, and she's also under the Wealth Network. That's a whole business. She's working with the collaborative lawyers. She was the one, when I was working with these clients recently, called her up straight away. I was like, what? Because this client called me, and normally I deal with people, they've separated, they're figuring it out, they've probably got lawyers, they're almost at the end, or like these other clients where they just figured it out between themselves. They didn't involve a lawyer. I told them to get a binding agreement. I said, make sure you sign it off so that you guys know you're protected. But I've not had it where this lady was went to the lawyer, and they were at the first step, they're speak to a finance person, so how they divide a couple of properties and some other assets. It's so anyway, straight on the phone to Grossi, but she's working with all these collaborative lawyers where it's they agree not to go to court. That's the commitment when you engage this person, and then they're helping you try and sort of figure it out.
There's a new type of lawyer I've noticed, these ones that actually will push you to do mediation and do collaborative work.
Well, I think the agreement is that you're not allowed to go to court if you engage the collaborative lawyer. You have to make a commitment that you won't go to court, and then you each have your collaborative lawyers, and then you figure it out.
Yeah,
anyway,
it works better.
Better get Grossi back on the show. She can give us the actual rundown.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah, but we did get a client through that. We had one lady and she was through a collaborative lawyer and we just helped her work out how does she live with what she's got offered. So she could say yes or no.
My client that I had this client and they just finished the settlement like a month ago. She separated with a partner and they'd bought a house and they did it up. They did some renovations on the house and they ended up making a bunch of money. They're quite good with the timing as well in Sydney. And they went and he was a bit older than her and I think he was more established than she was at the start. He offered, I think it was, a few $100,000, say. And she said, oh, yeah, I think that's fair. Went to executed the courts and the courts are like, oh, no.
You have to give her half.
Not unfair. Not fair. You have to go and now get legal advice to say that you understand it. And then they assess
agreed.
it. Yeah. So she ended up with the same amount, but she had to then go and then get like another lawyer involved and get a sign off to go back to the court.
Wow. And that would have cost her more.
It was more money.
Is that it's the idea that they're protecting, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, I think that's the thing, to make sure that it was equitable, but she thought it was equitable already, or otherwise you wouldn't be there. But yeah, I don't know. Don't understand it.
It's an interesting place.
Maybe that's your next podcast, divorces. Yeah,
Grossi, get her back.
Grossi.
Her last one was very popular. So
was that about divorce?
we should just do a wealth network. We need more mics. I have to talk to
yeah,
Joe.
do a round table for the wealth
Actually,
network.
it'd be good to have Paul on, actually.
We haven't had Paul. We haven't
Yeah.
seen a little while back. We got him to co-host with one with us. So anyway, next time.
I nominate him next.
Yep.
Oh, do you? Oh, is it Nick nominate? Is it?
Yeah.
No.
Well, Stella, thank you very much for joining us. If anyone wants to reach out to you, how should they do that?
You can find me on LinkedIn and I will accept you when I have time. Maybe wait a few weeks.
When you get the baby off the hip? Yeah.
So, yeah. Or you can email me, but I'm not going to spell out my last name. So,
Norbs.
Norbs.
The Norb stuff. Awesome, Stella. Well, keep fighting the good fight and thanks for joining us.
Thanks for
No
coming
worries.
on.
Thanks, guys.